so today I'm going to be talking about how to get a job. Yay! A lot of YouTubers don't do this kind of video, but I thought it was necessary because I do think I have a lot of good advice and tips and tricks for getting a job, and unfortunately I am not one of those YouTubers where YouTube is my job. I do need another job to make money. What is this? First, I'm going to talk a little bit about my work experience as far as what kind of jobs I've had in the past. I'm 17, and when I was 16 I was working as a lifeguard at a water park, and that was my first job besides babysitting. And personally, I do not think babysitting is a real job. I know people do disagree with me, but I really just don't see it as a real job. Once you have babysat and then once you have a real job, you will see how completely different they are. So working as a lifeguard was my first job, and after that the season ended, so I mean I couldn't work there during the winter, so I took some time off just to focus on school, and then I decided in about November I was gonna start looking for jobs. So in November I went and I applied at 3 or 4 different places, and I never got a call back from any of them, and I will tell you what I could have done if I really wanted one of those jobs. All the jobs I applied for a couple clothing stores, this like snow cone place, and I applied somewhere else, but I don't even remember where I applied. All those places I didn't really want the job as much, so my first piece of advice is if you are looking for a job, really want it, because if you don't want it, you're not going to get it, because it just shows to employers that how much you want a job, and you do different things if you actually want a job versus just not really caring. Every store is hiring for the Christmas season or the seasonal season, but if you want to work there past the season, I don't know, I wanted to work there past the season, and most places were only hiring seasonal employees, and of course if you're hired as a seasonal employee and you want to stay and you did really well, they're going to keep you, but I just didn't really want to work for 2 months and then have to find another job. So I waited till after Christmas and New Year's. I went on I think like January 3rd, and I went and I got a few applications. So here are some tips and tricks for going to get applications, which is where you start your job hunting adventure. There's like a third. It's pretty much half and half. Half of the stores have online applications and half of the stores have actual paper applications, and honestly if you get a store with a paper application, there's so much of a higher chance that you will be hired, because online applications, they're only when they need someone, they'll look at who's applied online rather than them really liking you, and they weren't really looking to hire anybody, but they have your application, if that makes sense. A lot of people think that you need to dress like super nice just going to ask for applications, and I would not. I would just wear like casual, maybe like really cute casual clothes. If you're applying at like clothing stores, look really fashionable for any time you go in. I think I wore like white jeans, little booties, and I think like a light blue button-up shirt and a scarf. So I mean, look decent, but you don't need to dress up, heels and like a blazer and all of that, so you don't need to do that. So what you do is you walk in a store, you say, "Hi, my name is, I was wondering if you guys had any applications." Don't go into a store and say, "Hi, are you guys hiring?" because then they'll say no, and then you're on your way. So just go in, say that you want an application. Don't ask if they're hiring, because odds are they're gonna say no. If you get a paper application, it's probably good to bring it back in either the next day or the day after that. Don't wait too long. I brought it in the very next day, so I went home and I filled it out. I printed out a resume, which I'm going to show you my resume, and I'm going to show you, tell you some things you can put on your resume. Print out your resume and then bring your resume in with your application. Even if they don't ask for a resume, still bring it in, because they will pick you over someone who doesn't have a resume. They'll pick you because you do have a resume. Even if your resume isn't that great, they at least know a little bit about you. Well, I'm going to show you my resume. It is right here. I had to cross out a couple things because personal info. So they have layouts, like templates on Microsoft Word, so you can just use one of these. That's what I did. A little piece of advice, if you can see, my resume is not in black, so try to make your resume just a little visually appealing. So I made it like this like dark red burgundy color. So I would say if you were applying for this huge like business job, like super professional, I would go with black. But if you're a teenager applying for a teenage job, I work at a it's like a Lush, so I mean it's more fun. They want everybody to be really bubbly and energetic, and it's all nice and pretty in there, so I made it like a different color. So first you're gonna put your name, your first, middle initial, and your last, and then the second line you're gonna put your address and then your phone number and your email. Section is professional summary, and then you have experience and work history, education and extracurricular activities, and skill. Your work history, just put whatever you've done. If you have babysat and that's the only thing you've ever done, put that on here, but if you've had an actual job, I would put that on rather than babysitting. So you put what you were, lifeguard, where it was, and then you write what you did and then the dates. So I said I was responsible for pre-opening safety measures, ensuring the guest safety at all times, and enforcing the rules. I was responsible for the closing, cleanup, and anything else my supervisor asked of me. Always on a resume, talk yourself up. So even if like I just made lifeguarding sound really like important. Also, anytime you put like what you did at your previous job, at the end put anything else my supervisor asked of me, or anything else my, say like something like that. And then the education and extracurricular activities, if you're currently in school, you put currently attend and then your school. And then I wrote about how I'm in 2 clubs, and I do things with kids, and I played volleyball. And then in skills. Skills is the most important section, because as your employer is looking through it, and if you're at an interview, she or he will ask you about certain skills and like ask you like, oh, why do you think you're a good blank? So this is what I put. Again, talk yourself up. Strong verbal communication skills, conflict resolution, organized, team leader, computer efficient, quick learner, customer service oriented, energetic and outgoing, cooperative team member, and punctual. The main things that I think are the most important are punctual, computer efficient, and then I would say strong verbal communication skills if you work a lot with people, like I work a lot with people. As soon as you can, bring in your resume and your application. You can put it even in like a folder if you want. That's a little bit more professional. I was just carrying the papers, and I actually, when I went in to give them my application and resume, I didn't know I was gonna be interviewed that day, so I was wearing like a furry, like a knit cardigan, and then like a nice like glittery tank top and jeans and like little booties. So I didn't know I was gonna be interviewed, which I probably should have, because I knew it could have happened. So I didn't even think of like dressing a little bit more professional. Honestly, like I don't know. I think I looked fine, but when you're going to give your application, I would just wear, again, like just nice clothes, or you could even dress up a little bit more, because there is a really big chance that they will ask like to interview you that day. So I went in, and always, I cannot stress this enough, shake their hand. I know it's a little intimidating when you're a 17-year-old and you're going up to like a 50-year-old like lady who's super successful, and she doesn't stick her hand out to shake your hand. You better stick your hand out and shake her hand, even if she doesn't shake yours. Hello, my name is Jessie. And another thing, none of this, you need a firm handshake. That is so unattractive on a person, like on a professional level. It is so unattractive if you go in for a handshake and it's like a little worm, like it's just like so light and like faint. You need this like a firm handshake that's super good. And now we are moving on to the interview. Okay, so for the interview, honestly, the biggest thing I can say is don't be nervous. I'm gonna say don't be nervous, and I know everyone's gonna be nervous. If I go into an interview like not expecting it, like the interview I was just talking about, and I didn't prepare at all, I do a lot better than when I'm stressing about it and I know everything that I'm gonna say for every question. I do a lot better when I'm not prepared, and I think like that's a lot of people. Maybe you don't know that. I didn't know that about myself until I had this interview, but I had an interview prior to the job that I actually have right now, and it was horrible. Like, I knew exactly what I was gonna say, like I knew what I was gonna say, like I was so ready, and it was horrible. So I think like honestly you're just gonna be disappointed if you like have it all rehearsed in your mind, because it's not gonna go how you wanted it to. So I would just not be nervous, maybe know a couple things, like some key things that you want to talk about or say in the back of your mind. Basically the most popular questions that they're gonna ask, I've been to 3 interviews, so the questions that they all asked is why you want to work here, why should we pick you instead of someone else, what do you have that you can bring to this company. So really good things to say is when they ask why do you want to work here, you could say something like, I love coming here to shop, I come here all the time, your staff is always so friendly and helpful, and your whole staff brightens my day when I come in, and I would really love to be part of the team. The last part, I would really love to be part of the team. People love that because they like want everybody to be like they want people to be proud that they work there, so that's a really good thing to say. And also when they ask like why should we hire you instead of someone else, say that you're very hardworking, very punctual, and you get along with people. Just kind of talk about like the skills on your resume, really talk yourself up once again. It's like interviews are hard. If you do get called back for an interview, so you bring in your application and they call you a couple days later and they're like, hey, we'd love to schedule an interview with you, which is not what happened with me, then that is when you dress a little bit more professionally. Depending on what kind of place you are applying for, if it's really business-like, super professional, I wouldn't wear a dress. I would wear like a longer pencil skirt, like not a super tight pencil skirt, just like to your knees, maybe like some flats or maybe heels like literally that big, and a blazer, and like maybe like a little like a basic top, and maybe like a nice statement necklace. If you're applying at like a boutique or clothing store, like a really girly place, dress really fashionably, but still don't show too much skin, so no shorts, no short dresses, at least like this much above your knee. Like I wouldn't even show that much skin at all. I would probably I wore like a dress that kind of like came like this much above my knee with tights and boots. So I don't show too much skin, even if like their style and their look is kind of like, you know, skin. I wouldn't go in there dressed with, you know, like that. When they ask you if you have any questions, ask when they decide to when will they make their decision by, just so you know. It's totally fine to ask that. It's not rude. I kind of thought it was rude, but it's totally not rude. They want you to ask that. So just ask, and then you should like get a call or an email a few days later. And if you don't get the job, it's really not the end of the world. I didn't get like 4 different jobs before I found this one. And if you don't get a job, don't let that put you down, because I promise you're gonna find a job that you love going to every day like me. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it was helpful. Let me know if any of this was helpful down below, or if you need any more advice, I can give that to you down below in the comments. So I love you guys. Hope that this was helpful. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.